Okay, the one of the people that I had to forgive was Mr. Brian Howe, who started, who engineered with Tanya Rue all the things that went on in my life since whatever. I mean, he had a videotape. I mean, Brian Howe, was incarcerated for beating a black man, because the color of man's skin, and they have other things they had done. But he had videotape of me saying he raped me, gave me, roofied me, whatever, at videotape. I had to forgive him about that. Mr. Brian Howe steps at me again like that, I would defend myself to the full extent of Indian law. They violated treaties twice. Now I had to forgive these people. And Miss Tanya Rue, Brian Howe going around showing this tape, that I would like to press charges. A lot of the community knows about it. I would like to press charges. Anybody affiliated with it brings, like I said, it goes to also guilty by association. You guys understand why I told you people to stop? All I have to file charges against that, and then Kara Gutnick comes up, and then it automatically brings in Kelly Lambert and the judge. You understand why I tell you people to stop? I forgive Brian Howe. Brian Howe challenged God. Guys, Brian Howe has a tape. I had to forgive Brian Howe about this tape. All these other people sending all this, I don't know what they believe in. I don't know. I pray. Get on my knees and pray. But this thing with these people named Brian, I'm pressing charges against all of them. I mean, they're going after me or some shit, making up shit. So I mean, they're saying they have this tape. They probably showed it to people. Those people are guilty by association. Anybody that knows about it is guilty by association, and that is all. Any gang ties, automatic 10 years. Automatic 10 years. Military involvement, Fort Bragg. Is it Fort Bragg? Military police? I don't know. I met some military police in San Antonio. I told them I didn't earn it. They saluted me because they heard about the work I was doing with the veterans there. Military police saluting me. I told them I couldn't accept it because I wasn't military, but they knew about me, taking the oath as a Marine. They knew I couldn't serve because of my eyesight. They saluted me for that shit, for helping these people. So that way I could, get back here in Michigan and forgive Mr. Brian Hall, Miss Tanya Rue, Mr. Lambert, all these other people. The same people I'm helping are the same people these people are trying to hurt. But, I'm supposed to forgive these people. My ex-wife knows about that shit. Carrie Graham knows about that shit. They all got together, and I know the story. But, I'm supposed to, I forgive these people. But them still continuing to, put these words towards my mouth, towards me, I want to press charges. Every single person involved. Any person that knew about it. Because if they knew about it, is guilty after the fact. Or, because, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But I would like to press charges against these people. Any person that knew about it. Because, what is it? Guilty after the fact, or I know it's guilty by association, conflict of interest. Many people, Mr. Mackay Bell knew about it, and he was a teacher in a school promoting that type of thing because of the color of my skin. And I do have a degree. I was doing that psychiatry measures, teaching people psychiatry things. I know I had to talk to one of my nephews about him. He put Mr. Mackay Bell put suicidal images in my nephew Tony's brain. I had to talk to my cousin, my 8-year-old nephew, about suicide awareness because Mr. Bell put that shit in his head because of my ex-wife, because of the color of my nephew's skin. I had to talk to my nephew because my nieces boyfriend's daughter put a seatbelt around an 8-year-old boy, and dude, my nephew almost died because of the hatred, because of the color of a person's skin. I had people in Grand Haven just looking at me because I had a rental car and I cut the seatbelt because I didn't give a shit. My nephew was in trouble because of what? My niece's boyfriend's niece or daughter, whoever the shit she was, against my nephew because they were mad about my family thriving. They were jealous about other people thriving because of the color of their skin, because I wasn't black. And this is the type of shit I had to do. A lot of people witnessed that shit. They took pictures of that shit too. They can't deny it. It happened. But they also, I didn't see it where it happened, but the people told me. They purposely did that shit. Purposely. And these are the type of shit I gotta forgive. Because the color of my skin, because I'm not black, that's reverse racism. Which is another felony. But I don't know. I have Indian, Mexican, even some Irish in my bloodstream. I had to forgive Mr. Brian House, who initiated this whole thing, started this whole thing with Tanya Rue. But I had to forgive him because they are also associated with my nephew almost dying in Grand Haven, the illegal search and seizure at my mom's duplex that Mr. Guadalupe went there and started narking to the cops. My nephew went to prison because my niece was pregnant. My ex-brother-in-law went in there, narked, got my niece off, and put my nephew in jail, in prison. Because my nephew, my uncle, it's all documented. They were all taking pictures. I told the police, it's a totally different subject, but it was illegal search and seizure because they did not have a warrant. My mom told them no. The officer lady said, we have a warrant on camera. I said, no, they have computers and they have printers in the thing. Get a warrant. Well, we can't say, well, they can't do it, and they did it anyway. Because Mr. Guadalupe narked. And my niece, Lupita, I'll say her name, got off because of that. My nephew went to prison because of that, because Guadalupe narked. But I have to forgive Mr. Brian Hall because they're all affiliated. They're all affiliated with this shit. Like I said, it's documented. They wanted the proof. It's documented. Courtney, I'm going to say the dude's name. Courtney's daughter or niece, I don't know, whoever it was, put that thing around my 8-year-old nephew. I talked to him about suicide. He was talking about suicide because the shit Mackay put in his head. But I'm supposed to, I treat these guys as nice, and they still come at me all sideways and shit like that. I'm still nice to Courtney while the dude's in jail narking on people. I'm still got to be nice to him because that's what godly people do. But I'm crazy because I'm supposed to, bow to these people? I will never bow to man. I will kneel before God or for Jesus. But these guys talk about Jesus, they don't know Jesus. Not one of these people. Keisha doing black magic. She's supposed to be some Baptist or something like that to the Baptist community, doing black magic. That's not godly, that's not Jesus. I think her daughter was the one that put that shit around my nephew. People witnessed that shit in Grand Haven, took pictures of that shit. And they wonder why I get mad, because I gotta sit here and I gotta fix all this shit that my family and their narking people are doing on these other people. Because of what? They got a judge and a lawyer in their pocket? But I gotta get, I get mad because I gotta sit here and I gotta protect all these people. Why these people continue to narc on these other people? I'm the one sitting out here helping all these people when people got shoulders crying and thinking about suicide. I make the podcast while these guys narking, getting 100 people. Look at the dockets, people. And I bet you how many. Mr. Guadalupe is that auto mechanic thing is a front because not a lot. There's more than a few people that went to prison because that motherfucking nurse on them after fixing their cars. They're all guilty by association because of a little black book with a lawyer and a judge in it. They wanted to know the thing. Hey, TV8 did the thing years ago. They continue to say, they say I continue. I'm out here helping homeless people, giving up everything. God told me to give up all my personal possessions. You know how hard it was to get divorced and get away from my kids? But God told me to do that. He said, I got something better for you. He said, you can go help the world. You're going to show the world that God exists. While all these people are sitting out here, going into... There's a reason that there's certain individuals that are incarcerated right now. They will not get out. They will not get out. It's God's promise. God promised everything the devil took away from me, God would return. For a while there, God said the devil took my mind. God returned my mind, not only in full tact. That's why people don't understand. It's a little bit crazy right now because I am fighting for myself. No one else fights for me. They fight against God. They challenge my God, and now look at, they're all fighting with each other. All I did is get on my knees and pray. But you know what? It's their problem now. Because I got to go teach people. While these people are fighting with each other, they're going to end up killing each other. They're going to end up shooting each other. People aren't going to make it a Jeffrey Epstein type of shit. They're going to say people are committing suicide. And people are going to know what they did. It was God. God sending in God's people. They challenge God. But these are the people, that putting things, 18-year-old girl, I call her a girl because she's not a lady, put a seatbelt around an 8-year-old boy. And her, I don't know what Courtney is to her, but, sitting in and narking on people in jail. It's the type of things, because of why? Because the dude wasn't 100% black, he had Mexican in him. So yes, because of the color of my nephew's skin. They can't deny it, because my other nieces were there. My other nieces were there. People took pictures of that. I know they think they were. People were videotaping these girls. They posted that shit online. And they posted me saving my nephew, talking to my nephew about suicide, an 8-year-old boy about suicide. I talked to a lot of people about suicide. I talked to my nephew Matthew. I talked to a bunch of other people about suicide. Because I am a suicide survivor. But what these guys are going to get, what they call for suicide, is the Jeffrey Epstein type of thing. And all these people incarcerated. They challenge God. I'm not God. I don't promote death. I ask God to give life. I try to bring life or keep people alive as much as I can. But those people that do death spell, I pray. I don't believe in the black magic, all that voodoo bullshit. It ain't my thing. And these cloaking spells, these hypnotizing things they put online, ugly spells, vanity spells. God rebukes all those type of things. They try to put all these things in people's heads so that way they can see people in certain light. All these pictures I took when I was in Amarillo and San Antonio show angels. Anybody that sees anything besides angels, their intentions are evil. Anyone. And they keep proving that shit because it shows my pictures. I couldn't see. I just took the pictures. It shows people. It shows license plate numbers. It shows people their illegal acts. When I tell people thou shalt not steal, it shows the people the things that they're doing now. And I took those a year and a half ago. That's why I'm not afraid. That's why I was like, I'm just going to sit back and let God take care of these people because they challenge God. Hey, I've been a preaching person since I was 5 years old, going out telling people the whatever. I remember the first time I did it, I was in Muskegon, Michigan. It was around Christmas time. I told my mom and my aunt and my Uncle Jesse died. They said, how do I know? I don't know, I just feel it. Died in my cousin George's arms in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We were in Muskegon. They wanted to know how I knew that. I said, I don't know, I just have a feeling. Died in my cousin George's arms in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we were in Muskegon, Michigan. These type of things I've been doing since I was 5 years old, telling people the future. People say I've been crazy for it, but most of the time, it's been towards godly people, good things happen. But all this shit that is going on, I don't want to know anything to do with it. Any person that, that purposely put a thing around a 8-year-old's head and try to make them whatever they were doing, I don't know. I mean, it only cost me like $1,800 to fix a seatbelt. I don't give a shit. My nephew was worth more than that car was worth. That car could have blown up. I don't give a shit. My nephew's life was worth more than that seatbelt. But see, that's the type of shit I prove every day. People, I go out there and prove people's lives are worth more than what they think. If they think their lives ain't worth shit, that's not my problem. I talk good to them, and then when they start talking back, I pull my protection from them. I pull my prayers from them. And I put my prayers towards the people that need the protection, the homeless people, the single parents, the people that, the homeless veterans. When I say single parents, I don't mean single parents out there, taking advantage of the system. I'm talking about single parents out there thriving, doing the hard work so that way they can make it. So that way their children don't have to go through that shit. That way they can get married. They don't have to be single. My family don't teach that shit. I teach those things. I teach marriage. I teach family. I don't teach, sleeping around. Or when a man is drunk, I don't teach, people pulling his boxers down and then, having these people mount them on purpose. I don't teach that. When I was reborn in my car accident, which I thank God for all these people that, cut my brake line. I thank God they did that because I was reborn. They wanted to see the monster they made. Hey, that's a good song. I love you guys. Keep your heads up. They challenged God, not me. I'm just here to give the evidence. And there's a lot of it left. Like I said, every day, I am not lying, I'm not hiding. Every day another person will go down until I see my baby girl. Because I promised that I'd see her again. And I was brought back when I was in Amarillo. My body was whatever. I was dehydrating on the side of the river walk. A beautiful soul brought me back, and I promised her I wouldn't give up. Because I made that promise to my son and my baby girl. But I also promised the nurses I would listen to, I promised the nurses I would listen to the nurses. Because I was revived by a nurse on the side of the highway after dehydrating. And I promised God I would keep going. I also promised God I wouldn't stop fighting. People haven't even seen me start fighting yet. Wait till I have my eyesight fully. Peace.